Hi. Okay, so I posted a picture that I had for a while, but I decided to post it. It said, "Hell is not a place you go for the rest of eternity because you disobey God." Man made the Bible, okay? God didn't make the Bible. And they use it to distort everybody's view and make them scared of you. Them, to control us and make us do what they want. But it said it's a state of perception based on the lack of cognizance and inability to transcend ignorance. So we have traumas, okay? There's something called Christ consciousness, okay? And so if you are unaware of your internal struggles, you're unaware of your unhealed behavior patterns, which basically stem from unresolved trauma manifesting as chronic people-pleasing, emotional detachment, self-destructive actions like self-sabotage, and high reactivity. These are coping mechanisms developed to handle past pain, often persist, causing anxiety, relationship mistrust, and difficulty with emotional regulation. Healing requires awareness, self-compassion, and often professional therapy. Unhealed behavior patterns, common ones are relationship issues, persistent fear of abandonment, mistrust of others' motives, and a tendency to choose toxic partners. We attract how we feel. We attract people based on how we feel. So if you had a problem with one of your parents more so than the other, or both, you're attracting partners based on that and other people that have the same traumas. Self-sabotage, engaging in behaviors that ruin success or happiness, often due to an underlying belief that one is unworthy of positive outcomes. Emotional reactivity, having explosive, defensive, anxious reactions that are disproportionate to the current situation, such as lashing out or extreme hypervigilance. Avoidance and shutdown, detaching emotionally, disengaging from close relationships to avoid vulnerability, people-pleasing, sacrificing one's needs to appease others stemming from a need to feel unsafe or valued, addictive behavior, using substances or compulsive behaviors to cope with overwhelming emotions. Signs of unhealed trauma, physical issues, mental issues, social withdrawal. Steps toward healing, acknowledging the pain, seeking therapy, building support, self-care, self-compassion. You can read more about it. You just Google it, okay? Unhealed behavior patterns, Google it. And then there's Christ consciousness, which basically is an elevated state of unconditional love, unity, divine awareness that transcends ego. If you cannot see your own internal struggles and notice your own unhealed behavior patterns, that if you had an alcoholic parent or an addicted parent to drugs or something, that created trauma for you. And if you are not dealing with it, it is coming out in different ways. Then you go down the rabbit hole of all kinds of things how you react and how you act based on that. It takes you off into a tangent. There are people that knowingly take advantage of other people and they're facing their karma. Okay? God is in the mind. God is in the mind. Heaven, your crown, that's why readers cover their crown with hats and bandanas and etc. rags. And hell is down there. Because if you are unhappy, you are not aware of what you're doing, you keep repeating that pattern over and over and over and over. Tarot is your mirror. It tells you what patterns you're repeating, like you're looking at things differently. Spirit, what does the collective need to know about this? We call on our ancestors, Spirit, Holy Spirit, Jesus? I wanted to say Jesus. Christians call on Jesus, but there's a lot of different deities. Anyway, Spirit, what does the collective need to know? We go to church and they give money to the pastor, which is basically like a practitioner, to pray for you. But does he? Maybe you go there and you meditate for a minute and then you give him money. So you could do that at home for free. because you're just giving somebody money for nothing. My mom was, there's this church that is like for ex-convicts and ex-felons and people that come out of jail, like cholos. My mom was big on Victory Outreach. And she was like up there, and she was gonna get her own church. Basically, they give you money to pay your taxes or pay your salary. They give you money for your housing. They give you money for your mortgage, everything that you could need, your car, your family. It's all free. That it's tax free too. So you're giving money to the pastor for his tax free, okay? And he don't do nothing other than go home with the money. So, and the Republicans and the media and the government use it to their advantage to gaslight the rest of us to doing what they want, which is why we have people like Trump in office, because he gaslit a bunch of stupid people. Then they say things to us to drive us crazy, and it's abuse of control. They use religion to control us. 9 of Wands going forward. Releasing that, maybe you're tired and you want to think about it, and it's emotionally draining to you. And you're like, I just want to move on. I just want to move on. Give it to yourself, okay? Give it to yourself. This unhappy is an illusion. There's an illusion here. You go and give them money. He's a practitioner. That priest is a practitioner with incense going like this. I was raised Catholic. That's bullshit. They hate gay people because they want to justify their bigotry. It meant don't sleep with prostitutes. It was mistranslated. Word salad, narcissism. I just stuttered my words. Word salad, that's what it is. They use it to justify their hate. Illusion. And then other people follow along because they think that they're righteous. Really? Anyway, chakras, we all have them, right? You're aware of those. Read about Christ consciousness. And unhealed traumas. Very suddenly wanting to move on. This isn't going anywhere. Collaborating, using your own intuition. Trust your crown. Trust your crown. Trust your intuition. Trust your inner knowing. And if you don't know what you're doing, ask questions. Start somewhere, but, healing. Healing. Read about Christ consciousness and read about unhealed behavior patterns. They can manifest into illnesses, anxiety, depression, anything else the collective needs to know. It's an internal struggle that keeps you very unbalanced. And then they take advantage of you. You're working on it. You need to work on it to release those sentiments. You need to learn. You need to learn to give up that struggle because it's keeping you emotionally disconnected. You go off on a tangent. It makes you anxious. And then you want to talk, and then you give them money. And this person doesn't care about you. They talk shit about you probably. It's very like cutting you off. Like they don't even care. They it's an obstacle. You have to. It's just because they want money. That's it. It's keeping you unhappy. It's to take your money. It's to take your money. That's it. It's to take your money. It's all an illusion. See the moon sticking out reverse, and you realize it now. You need to walk away because this person is controlling you, dominating you. It's bullshit. Religion was created. That's why man made the Bible and God did not. Spirit, universe. It's a universal consciousness. So, you can't save everybody. You could tell them you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Sorry. Some people listen to their inner knowing and they work on it and they meditate regularly. That connects you to your spirit team, to your guides. You talk to them. Go ahead and take with that information what you will, but if you were knowingly doing it and taking advantage of people, that's when you're getting your karma. You're creating karma for yourself. So don't do that. No. God is in the mind. And I'm remembering this because my aunts, there was like 5 girls. They all went to a religious school, and all they wanted to do was take all their money. That's it. They used their money. They took all their money that they could to make them say, this is right, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm seeing a nun hitting somebody with a fish. They beat it into you. They brainwash as a child, and everything that goes against that is abnormal, is alien, and then that's when they lash out.